let's keep it going as we move on. And then, of course, we're going to bounce and shake into this one right here. And of course, we're getting ready for the training camp. And, of course, one of the vaunted training camp battles is Alontae Taylor versus the likes of Paulson Adebo for the number 2 spot, right? And, of course, right now, a lot of people at first, I was like, yeah, well, people were down on Paulson Adebo because of how he played last year. Remember, he was a sophomore slump. Alontae Taylor could go through that this year. Alontae's very good. Paulson Adebo's very good. But it is an open competition for the second cornerback spot. It's not like, you got Dennis Allen coming out here saying, hey, man, listen, our guy is Paulson Adebo, and Alontae Taylor is where he is. No, they're setting it as a competition, which is very good. I know Alontae Taylor could play outside and inside. He showed it last year. Can Paulson Adebo do the same? I would have to say I haven't seen him play inside, because he's mostly been outside. But I can't, I would not imagine that he couldn't do it eventually if he was forced to. If he loses the battle between the two and was forced inside, then he would ultimately have to learn that he's smart enough to do it. It'll take some reps to do it. But remember, a sophomore slump is a real thing. Several players go through it all the time. Anyway, let's hear some commentary right here from Paulson Adebo and Alontae Taylor on what they said. This is not very long, about a minute.
Last year, I feel like I belong now, and I kind of feel like that. I guess older vet, big difference, man. I'm talking about I'm out there making mistakes, and I'm kind of hard on myself right now about it because I kind of wish that I could just get it right now, but it's just not happening. So just going to continue to watch tape, ask the coaches the questions, and I have guys helping me out as well.
While takeaway numbers were far from ideal, Paulson Adebo says the end of last season can have a trampoline effect.
Trying to pick up where we left off last year. I think we finished second in passing yards allowed last year as a secondary. So I think this year just trying to build on top of that, and we got a lot of guys back, and we got some new guys as well. So I think we're very, very confident in what we can do this year.
Under new defensive coordinator Joe Woods, both Adebo and Taylor have a back to the basics mentality.
Helping us be really attentive to our details. So I've loved everything that he's done coming in.
Very detailed. He's big on technique, and that's what I like. I think technique is probably the most important thing, especially as a corner.
After his one-year stint with Dennis Allen at Oakland, Joe Woods' first year as defensive backs coach of the Broncos ended with a Super Bowl win. First season with the 49ers, first playoff appearance for them in 6 years. And first season with the Browns as defensive coordinator, Joe Woods helped end an 18-year playoff drought. So if anyone can turn the corner for the Saints' defensive backfield, it's him in Metairie.
All right, so there it is. That's some of the information. You see Joe Woods out there performing. You heard what Paulson Adebo and both Alontae Taylor was saying about him. They use the same word, detailed. And we talked about it. We played several interviews from Joe Woods. And I was like, man, I love Joe Woods, man. You listen to him. The dude knows what he's doing. People love Joe Woods because he can coach the game. He can interpret and speak the game. He's a very positive person. And we just fortunate to have a guy like Joe Woods. And he's there to try to get his system in place. Dennis Allen loves him. He's the defensive coordinator there. We know that the cornerbacks is his specialty. Marcus Robinson handles the safety. So, and he just takes care of that. And he's the D coordinator. Everybody on the team reports to him. He reports to Dennis Allen. That should help out. But it's positive, and it'll be a very eye-opening competition between Paulson Adebo and Alontae Taylor. So to get some insight on those brothers before things really get cooking and shaking is a positive in my book. So anyway, and of course we can definitely ask the great Saint think tank and the entire Who Dat Nation, who do you guys believe ultimately will win the job? Will it be Paulson Adebo or will it be Alontae Taylor? Remember, going into his sophomore year, right? So we'll see. Well, we'll see how it all shakes going forward, man, for these guys. So ultimately, I like both these guys. In the end, this is a win-win competition. Whoever wins the second job or the boundary position. So it'll be interesting to find the inside-outside guy. Me personally, I'm going to have to go with Paulson Adebo. I think Paulson Adebo wins the job back, which will probably keep Alontae Taylor in the slot, which I really like him being in the slot, to be honest with you. And I think that is probably our best three cornerback rotation is Laddie Daddy, Adebo, and Alontae Taylor. You guys might disagree with me, and that's fine. All right, so anyway,